Stake your claim in this colony building sim and survive a turbulent medieval age. Defend against raids, keep your villagers happy as their lives are shaped by the world around them. That is Going Medieval, and that's what we're talking about today. Going Medieval released on the 1st of June, developed by Foxy Voxel and published by the Irregular Corporation. It's got very positive reviews on Steam, which I think are warranted, and it's got 20 British pounds as the buying price, or around $25 if you're from America, or zero point 0.1 Doji coins, however you want to buy it. And the first thing, all the reviews on Steam say, match my first impressions. This is Medieval Rimworld. And after playing for around 4 hours, this is Rimworld, but 3D with really pretty world and some unique medieval content, but around 5 to 10% of the Rimworld content. And that's kind of what a lot of this review is going to be talking about. We're not going to be too harsh because this is currently in early access. It's released in early access with a roadmap going forward, which I'll share throughout this video. So I'm going to let you know what you're going to be getting up to in Go Medieval, kind of the systems that underpin it, and ultimately if it's worth buying right now in its current state, if it's worth getting it in early access, waiting to release, or not even bothering with it. So when you start out, the game comes out in 3 modes and different difficulties, starting areas you can choose, and you get your first pick of characters. You can kind of customize some small things, but you can't really change the characters themselves. And it starts out very much like Rimworld or, Prison Architect or those other sandbox simulation games. There's like a basic tutorial. I like this because it gives you very minimal help. You only kind of get the help when you click it. And it doesn't really hold your hand. It just throws you in and, this is a sandbox experience. Do what you want. And then if you want to click the tutorial, something goes wrong, you click the tutorial and it'll tell you what you've done wrong or how to improve it. Someone's hungry, click the tutorial, how to get food, kind of things like that. I want to talk through kind of the systems in the game that you're going to spend most of your time doing and that kind of underpin the whole game. And kind of just break down what they are and if they're good and my general thoughts after playing this for a few hours. So I'll timestamp them below. We'll start first with the characters and the skills. And they've done an incredible job here in my opinion. This is my favorite thing about the game, hands down. For some reason, it gives me like massive RuneScape vibes. Characters have got a ton of skills, foraging, building, cooking, speech. You'll see them all on the screen at some point. And doing a certain task level that skill up. So I'll give you an example. One of my villagers had like really low range skill, but had very high animal husbandry, which means they're good at hunting animals. So I gave her a really weak bow and had her hunt rabbits and deer for a while. After a little while, her range leveled up, eventually hitting 10. And at level 10, you can go from a short bow to a long bow. These little things of progression really make the game fun to play. And it's in other areas too, like you need a certain cooking skill to brew certain beers or smoke meats, skill-based crafting of armor and weapons or mining and smithing. And this system alone shined out as my favorite part, which is why I'm putting it first. Yes, it's bare bones. Like when I talk about the ranged, getting to level 10, getting the longbow, I don't see anything past that. I don't see get to 20, get a crossbow, get to 30, get a ballista. I don't see anything like that. It's very short, and that's because it's an early access game that's lacking content right now. But the system of how the skills work is polished, clean, and incredibly rewarding. And on top of this, there's 2 other systems that kind of underpin it. So there's like a job system. So again, really like this, very similar to Rimworld and others in the genre. You kind of have a 5-tier priority system of what job someone does. So you don't give people tasks directly, but people do what their job order says. So let's say you go to the campfire and you request someone cook meat, and then you go to the house and you request the second floor be built. People will work based on their priority. You don't click them, then click build. So if you put someone as priority 1 for carpentry, they'll go build. If someone's priority 1 for cooking, they'll go to the food. And that's kind of how it works. And it's a complex system to get your head around at first, but how they do it is really good. So you can have your villagers that focus on skills they're good at because they'll get the best reward from it. Or you can have villagers, if you're lacking something in the community, you can have one of your villagers level up that skill by putting them at high priority. So put someone at a high priority for mining, and they'll constantly be mining. They'll level up from 0 all the way to whatever you need them at. And that's a really good, with the skill system that I've already described, that works really well. And I really like how you can build like this fleshed out community of people and you can cover all of the basic skills. And that's combined with another system, which I can't say the same good things about. I don't really think it works. And that's the schedule. So you can see top left, you've got jobs, and the second one is schedule. You can plan their day, when they're allowed to work, when they're allowed to have fun, when they're allowed to sleep. And it just doesn't really work in my opinion. All my villagers remained happy. They just kind of slack off when they want entertainment, and then they just go straight back to work. And everyone stayed happy, everyone got enough sleep, and I never put anything in the schedule. So in my opinion, that's kind of busted. I don't know what their plan is with that or what their thoughts are, or if I've just missed something, but I've never seen the need to use it with, I think, up to like 5 villagers. So yeah, the skill system, incredible, 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 but lacks content. That's all I can say. There's not enough there right now, but when they flesh this out, think RuneScape, but once you get to level 20 or 30, it ends, right? You know it's going to be good, but they just need to carry it on further throughout the game. So we'll go next to building. Again, this is a colony building sim. Building is a massive part. And again, building is great. One of the big pushes they've put is the multi-layer building. So you can build a house with 2 floors, fortify it, and then you could build a 3rd floor on top of that as like a high ground, and you could fortify that so your archers can shoot off it. That's something they've kind of pushed quite a lot in their description on the Steam page and like the trailer and stuff. And it is really good. I've seen it done before, but they do it kind of unique, and it is really good how they do it. You could build storage underground, so you could go underground and store your food, so it's protected against the cold and the heat in the winter and summer. You can fortify, you can build with different materials, and it is really good, but it's kind of buggy. I had kind of a few issues with it, like the buildings didn't always clip right. The pathfinding got kind of janky on me. Like I put a storage on the 2nd floor, so I had like storage on the 1st floor, storage on the 2nd floor, and then some stairs up. And sometimes they wouldn't know how to get up the stairs if they had an item, and they just kind of hover around the bottom of the stairs. I tried deleting the stairs and rebuilding them and pathfinding it a different way. And one villager always could get up there and one couldn't. And I don't know, I submit it as a bug, and it's kind of annoying, but I just think it needs more work. But once they polish it, it's a really cool system. I had like I had that storehouse, and then on the top I made a little defense for my archers to go on, because you want to protect your storage, right? But basically with building, you chop trees, mine clay and ore, you build buildings, entertainment items, beds, crafting systems, crafting stations, decorations. I keep bringing up content, but yeah, again, building's a great system, but is lacking different types of buildings. From my time in, I'm about halfway through, I'm about 3/4 through the research tree right now, and I'm not seeing enough things to build. Like, you unlock stone, it doesn't give you much to do with it. You unlock ironsmithing, and you can make a couple of weapons. This is early access, so I can't hate on this, but in my opinion, the building area definitely needs more buildings and more variety, different shapes, things like that. There's a lot you can do with the basic stuff they give you, but there could be a lot more they can add, and I think they will add it. Next up, I want to talk research. So yeah, super weird, but simple once explained. Basically, you build a research table, you put a villager on there, and depending on like their, I think it's like intelligence or reading or something, they'll be so good at making research. And what they do is they basically create books at this table, and then the books can be stored in your storage by, someone will take the book and put it in your storage. Once you've got so many books, you can unlock a next part of the research tree, and it's cumulative, so it keeps adding until you've got a big storage full of books, and you can research right down a certain tree. Really, really cool, really good idea, really unique. But the research tree, in my opinion, is awful. It really is not good. Like, there's one on there, like defensive buildings. It costs a ton to get to it. You get it, and it unlocks like a trap. You go right down to the end, weaponsmithing 2, and you get a couple of weapons. You get like woodcutting 2, a longbow. There's just not enough in here, and it's so bare bones that it's frustrating how little there is in here, in my opinion, right? I think to improve on this, you could grow the tree out massively. Think like Path of Exile, you just absolutely blow the tree up, and you just give so many branching paths, but less rewards. So you use 3 books and you unlock an item. 3 books, you unlock a new bow. 3 books, you unlock a new building type. And you just completely decompartmentalize it, I think that's the word, until everything is on there standalone as an item, and you buy the items as you go down the tree. I think that could make the few items they've got really look like a lot and really flesh it out and make them rewarding. Or you could just go all in and put a ton of content and then shrink the system to be like a World of Warcraft skill tree where you're just going down 9 items or something. Either way, I think that'd work, but what they have right now doesn't feel rewarding. You research all day, you research all for like 3 days, and then you unlock a trap. You research for 3 more days and you unlock a bow. It doesn't feel good because there's not much going on in the game outside of the research, because I mean, you can see the map, it's not huge. You're just living the life day to day. You rarely get attacked. So I do think the research needs to be better. I built 2 research tables to speed this up, and it still felt tiresome. So in its current state for me, it's a fail. It really doesn't work. I think this should be their core focus because it drives the progression in the game. Once I got about 4 or 5 hours in, I had a couple of like really crap researches that I did that just didn't give me anything worth doing. And I was just like, I don't want to sit here for another hour to unlock a couple more little things like this. I didn't feel like it was rewarding my time. So yeah, I've hated on that for too long. It is early access. It's not going to be complete, but that's something I think that needs to be the main priority. The final thing I want to talk about, combat. In my like 5 hours of play, I literally only saw a handful of combat. It's very Age of Empires RTS style. You flag your villagers to be at arms. You equip them with weapons, armor. I really like that. You know, if someone's good with range, you equip them with a bow. If someone's good at melee, you equip them with like armor and a shield and a sword. And then you just right-click the enemy. That's it. You highlight the unit, you right-click the enemy, ranges from stay a distance, and your melee will run in. There's a couple of cool things, like you get a bonus if your archers are above ground. All your items have different like ability types, like plus damage to certain things. And there is a bit of depth here, but generally, click to attack. Another cool thing is when you kill them, their bodies drop on the floor and all the items like spill out. So if you like, I killed like a band of 3 attackers, and I got like loads of weapons, armor, and their bodies drop out. So you can take all that back to your storage, and you can harvest all the loot and resupply your army, resupply your villagers, which is really, really cool. So yeah, they're kind of the main things I wanted to talk about. So my overall opinion, you probably guessed it by now, but it's massively underpinned by that one issue being the lack of content. And that's the one issue that I can't really hate on because it's early access. But if you compare this to other early access titles like Valheim, for example, 100+ hours of content at release for a pretty small fee. This, I can't see the average person getting more than 15-20 hours in its current state. Obviously, if you love Rimworld or style games, or if you fall in love with this one, you could funnel all your time into it. But generally, in my opinion, it lacks the content to throw your time at. And once I finish it once, I don't see myself starting again because I'll have finished the research tree. I'll have built every item. I don't see anything else I could do differently. I could start in another zone, but I do feel like it would just be the same. So yeah, overall, gameplay, amazing. Sound, music, graphics have got a ton of charm, character that I really enjoy. It reminds me a lot of like my time at Portia. The systems in the game are really good, but just lack the substance. Once the research window is more fleshed out, there's more buildings, there's more to do in the game, the systems they put in will shine, and it will be an incredible game, and I've got really high expectations for this. This is something that's going to sit in my library for a few months, maybe a year, and then when it comes out of early access or when they do like a big update, I'm going to be all in on this again because I really want this to be good and I really want more to do. I want to waste my day playing this game. I want to spend my weekend playing this game, but there's just not enough here right now. It's just a shell right now. It does feel like a testing version. So should you play Go Medieval? If you love Rimworld style games, I'd say grab it because it's genuinely fun and enjoyable and does a lot of cool and different things. I've played around 5 hours in total and I'm going to play for a few more because I genuinely do enjoy the game. And if you want to just support the devs because you like the look of it and you want to support an indie medieval game, then yeah, buy it. That's what I did. But if you're looking for the next big game you can throw your life into, or you're looking for value for money, I can't recommend it right now. I would definitely recommend just wait, hold on, watch what they do, watch how the development goes, watch what they put into the game, and then come back to it when it's a more complete game. Don't ruin your first impression by the lack of content. That's my opinion. Other than that, guys, I hope this has helped. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.